Those of you who follow a lot of Lord of the Rings content will no doubt be aware of Seastan's concept of the random walk to Mordor, which indeed I did one play of on my blog as a challenge, and of course his more recent one, the minimum purchase challenge, I guess call it a challenge, wherein played a scenario using only the minimum number of packs you would be required to own to play the quest in question. So I thought, well, why not combine the two for a double challenge? So I went to the trusty random number generator, generated some random numbers, and determined that I would be playing Journey in the Dark, the second quest from The Road Darkens, with a hero lineup of Dane Ironfoot. Oh, I'm playing two-handed, by the way. Dane Ironfoot, grandson of Bane. Tactics Theoden. Dunhere. Gimli. And Bilbo Baggins. So, as you can see, I've limited to one core set. Hunt for Gollum for Bilbo, Hills of Wheel for Brand, Return to Mirkwood for Dane, Mongol Vale for Theoden, and Road Darkens for the quest, and these are the only cards I will be allowing myself to use. This may not work out so well. If nothing else, I may well have to drop down to the easy mode version of the quest to have a chance at beating it. But I'm going to give it a try. So I've already put a little bit of thought in and decided that the second deck here will be Brand, Theoden, and Dunhere, leaving this side with Dane, Gimli, and Bilbo. Unfortunately for the Dunhere approach, both decks have relatively high starting threat. But I did check the quest, and the lowest engagement cost in it is 34, so I still stand a bit of a chance. Yeah, so I'm also going to try and follow the additional challenge of Random Walk to Mordor, wherein I build the decks live, having only 10 minutes for each. Though with a limited card pool, this may be a bit easier because I don't have so many difficult choices to make. A lot of them are sort of made for me by default. Though having had a previous failed attempt at this, I have found it's very strange. I keep thinking, oh, I can put in this card. No, I can't put in that card because I'm not allowed to use it. Regardless, let's start. So let's just, okay, disable Spirit and go through. Okay, so Faramir, of course, Galadriel tends to be a good choice. The Orc Slayer is a dwarf, so definitely worth considering. Oh, I could actually do some Gondor stuff. I'll have Visionary Leadership available. Still on Scout is the classic chump blocker still. Can have the one copy of Beyond. Boromir. Eagles are not really going to work out. Dwarf. Those are Nimmerdale. Probably going to do healing. Elrond. Dwarf. Dwarf. Maybe one copy. So the Greyline Hemlock. Minor Grand Hills is lesser. But he is a dwarf. So put him in because he's a dwarf. And Gandalf, of course. Apart from things that are absolutely certain, I'm mostly just putting in one copy and I'll figure out numbers later. Okay, so more willpower, more attack. Getting some sentinel could be worthwhile. Steward, visionary. Citadel played for Gimli, of course, although that may well go in the other deck. It has 2 tactics heroes. Spears of the Mark also may well go in the other deck. That's a point. Actually, let me go back. Bjorn, I think, will go in this deck because he can be sneak attacked. But Boromir can go in the other one that has more tactics resources. So, Dark Knowledge could be worth it in this context. Protector of Lorien seems like a great idea. Self-preservation, maybe. And events, Campfire Tales is certainly a good one. Common Cause is decent with Bilbo because his actions are basically worth nothing. Gondor, Grim Resolve. I haven't really decided where Steward Gondor is going to be going. Obvious. Quick strike, not so much. Cunning, Secret Paths, Strider's Path. Could consider Hidden Cache, but the only way to trigger it would be the Arnor Prospector. Shadow of the Past is a card that I generally like to consider, though I usually cut it. Quick Strike be worth it. If Gimli gets powered up enough, then yes. I'd really like Titan on Belts, but that comes from the Elf, which is not on my approved list. Okay, so back there. Okay, I have Song of Kings and Song of Travel available. Travel obviously is not any use for this deck. Kings could be. But okay, so let's see. Dwarves. Elrond is primarily expected to be sneak attacked. Hammersmith. Prospector. I don't have a ton of Gondor allies. Okay, I feel like I want Steward to go on Dane. And Bilbo will just have to save up resources mostly for the expensive stuff. Gildor can just be cut. Not on Limeriddel. Okay, I think I'm going to end up chump blocking quite a bit, for which Dunedain Signal is pointless. Don't have a lot of Gondor. Yeah, of course, if Steward goes on Dane, then giving him additional willpower is not so much use. It would just be Faramir, God Citadel, and Ship Captain. So I think we cut Visionary. Which maybe The Orc Slayers will still be expensive. And I think it's still reasonable to go steward on Dane. Yes. Self-preservation. Might cut self-preservation. I don't want too much expensive law stuff. Make sure that I have card draw and attack power. Could outcome calls. Gilbert's Council is expensive. Let's get that on quick strike. Oh wow, I'm really short on tactics in this deck. Yeah, it's still oversized, of course. Teach Elrond. A couple of dots in the window. Did I mark? Cut common cause. Cut Strider's path and Shadow of the Past. That puts me at 56 still. Okay, so I definitely want to keep the ship captains, but I have no particular need for the guards of the Citadel. Yeah, this head building is mostly there to be sneak attacked. Could really do with having some more tactics cards as well. Kind of running out of time on this. Let's see. Blade of Gondolin. Gondolin, Dwarf Axe. 4-player Lingus. Dorian Spearman would be a reasonable one. Yeah, maybe if I just add in the Spearman and leave it at that. No. I have too many more allies, possibly. Let's cut Valiant Sacrifice, stick to Campfire Tales, which works for everyone. Cut Helena. Guess I could cut Galadriel actually. So that being, because I'm not that likely to hit an attachment, which is the kind of big thing. So cut here and cut one more card. That is not on Scout. Okay, and that's one deck. And here we have the other side. So this is simpler. I could consider eagles, but I mean, Descendants of Thorondor are expensive, it's the problem. Spearman. Axe hands. Can't have Bilbo. Maybe lorrying guide, tracker, expensive of course, but I can have some of travel. Took. Question, I want a bunch of spirit stuff. Let's see, attachments. Citadel plates for Gimli. Warden here as well. Spears of the Mark. Let's speak to Courage. Steed of the Mark, of course, is much more useful when you don't have access to 3 copies of Unexpected Courage. So travel. Fate. Again. Quick Strike is very good with Doom here. Light in the Dark, going to be good with Doom here. Test of Will. Dwarven Tomb, Hasty Stroke, Stand and Fight. Goblins Greeting. Consider Shadow of the Past. I think those are all the most important things. And something like that. Limit, including 3 copies of some travel, it's more reasonable to have more copies of the high cost spirit allies. Sure, the past is just not going to work out. Oh, I did want to actually consider for Theolingus. Which would put me a bit over. Not more over, but not, still not much over. Looks like this is just going to be a slightly event-heavy deck. I don't really want to cut any of these. We wanted 2 guides and a couple of the Mark's Finest, and there we go. That one was much quicker because I only had 2 spheres to handle. Okay, so we'll save these decks and see how they work. Well, possibly not very, but it's a voyage of discovery.